ago. To live life away from it all, to have some sheep, maybe a cow or two, with cats and dogs and goats and an occasional moon. With our love for God, we can't go wrong. Our love can only continue to grow strong. Doesn't matter the difficult roads, it's true, for we have each other and love will carry us through. We came from another time, a time when dreams were bold, another time when values took hold. You couldn't give up hope, for it was always there. Another time we fared to do.
Say hi. Hi. Wave.
We came from another time, a time when dreams were bold, another time when values took hold. You couldn't give up hope, for it was always there. Another time we fared.
I'm glad.
Came from another time, a time when dreams were bold, another time when values took hold. You couldn't give up hope, for it was always there. Another time we fared.
At the time in the tent with me and the kids. And the feed. I'm at it again. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome in. You can see I have a special guest tonight, and I'm really excited to have him on tonight. But first, I want to go over to the chat and say hi, Jen. Thanks for sharing your hubby tonight, the boss. Hi, Karen. How you doing? We have Penny. How are you, Penny? It's good to see you in the chat. Karen, let me see what I said. And we have Adrian and Jamie. And
Hello, everybody.
yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, Paula, how are you, Paula and Jason? Good to see you here. Welcome in, welcome in. And if I miss anybody, I'll pick you up on the half-hour mark. How's that? I just want to say I've really been enjoying the building skills collaboration, and I want to thank everybody who's been participating in that, because that's just been an awesome build. I started working on my build for the 29th today, and I'm really excited to get that done and out so you guys can see that. And then I don't know what I'm going to do for the 30th, but the 29th is going to be pretty special. We have a special giveaway tonight. Not going to be much, but it's going to be a $25 gift card. So some lucky viewer somewhere in the live tonight is going to win a $25 gift card. So how's that? And I'm going to be doing that every Wednesday for my lives, and except for the one on July 2nd. The one on July 2nd is a special giveaway for the Building Skills Collaboration, and some lucky winner is going to win a DeWalt tool set valued at $349 or something like that. Yeah, so it's a pretty special giveaway.
That is.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that, and I think that one, at least that prize is going to be limited to the ones that have participated in the collaboration because they've worked so hard on their projects, but there'll be other prizes as well. So it'll be exciting. And if you're interested in donating anything to the giveaway for that collaboration hosted by myself, Simply Jan Homestead, and Tammy at Mountain Grandma Homestead, please let one of us know and we will start making a list. So, yeah, how exciting. I mean, this is after the meetup, too. It was a lot of fun, wasn't it, Kevin?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, lots of fun. And wish you could have been there. And if you didn't go, we would have loved to have had you there. It was just really had a blast. So, that being said, let's get right into Kevin. Known as the boss from Simply Jan Homestead. Welcome, Kevin. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, the boss is kind of a misnomer. Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah, she's over there. I'm kind of the boss, but on the channel, she really is. I'm really a dummy. She had to have this all set up for me because I don't know how to do any of this. I can't even. I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't want. I'm just going to be very careful. I'm not going to touch any buttons.
Well,
so
that's okay. That's okay.
All I got to do is answer questions, right, and talk.
All you
I'm
gotta
going to
do
have a
is
conversation with you. I think I can do that.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it.
Right.
And I was just looking at the Hebrew word and saw a little study online about that woman was taken from the rib. Well, in the original Hebrew, it doesn't say that. It was taken from his side, that both sides made a complete person. And so there you go. You don't need a boss. They're both sides.
That's right.
Yeah. I thought that was really, really interesting. Yeah, you're on YouTube now. He's Simply Famous Kevin.
Oh, goodness.
That's what Jennifer said. Simply Famous Kevin. Yeah.
Oh, it's too much, Jennifer. No. No.
Well, this particular live stream is always about living in another time, what it was like to grow up in another time. You know, what was it like growing up as a child in the generation you grew up in, and what are some of the fond memories that you had?
Well, I would say I'm Gen Xer, so I grew up drinking out of a playing slip and slide, playing tag, playing kick the can. I bet these kids today don't even know what kick the can is.
I know what kick the can is. That was around for years.
Yeah, kick the can was a popular game we played. I can remember in the summertime, my parents, you were outside all day. You were outside. When you were a kid, you were outside all day. I would be outside, and maybe our little town that I grew up in had a noon whistle and a 6 o'clock whistle. Okay. And you came home at the noon whistle if you wanted something to eat. If you didn't want anything to eat, I'm talking when we were little kids and we're playing outside, and there was no, and at 6 o'clock, unless mom and dad said, "Hey, be home at 5 or something," and we had someone had a watch. Be home at 5. We're gonna eat early, whatever, But summertime, we were outside all day long, riding our bikes. I used to ride my bike to a neighboring town that was like 7 miles away. Wow. Me and my brother would, and a couple of our buddies would. We would ride 7 miles on a curvy road Probably kind of dangerous, but we did it. It's a little another little town by where I grew up, and you know, that stuff doesn't happen today. It actually is a different time that we live in.
It really is a different time.
Yeah, and then after supper, 6 o'clock, we'd still in the summertime we'd be outside till dark. You know, now that was summertime, no school, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, it was a totally different thing. And speaking of school, we got a couple of new guys at work, and they're young guys, right?
Yeah.
And just to show you just what's going on and what's different from our time is that we have a safety meeting every Monday, and everybody's got to sign their name. You know, everybody signs their name in cursive, right? Not these two young guys.
They don't know cursive.
They don't know cursive.
Yeah.
They printed their names.
They don't teach it anymore in school.
Yeah, they actually because I was like one of the last ones to sign, and those guys had already, as the clipboard's getting passed around, it got passed to me. Those two new guys had signed, and they're young, and neither one of them, they both printed their names, and I thought to myself, wow, like that really has happened, and these guys aren't like. They're not 18, but they're early 20s.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a while where they have like deleted. They've actually deleted some of the things that we know, you know, and it's like there's stuff that we lose from our time. You know, we're losing it. So, do you guys have to do stretch and flex before work? No, we don't. No, we don't. But we do have a safety meeting every Monday, and it's usually just it lasts for a while, and we talk. And the boss comes up with something. The real boss, my boss at work, he comes up with stuff to talk about.
Jennifer wants to know where you were born.
I was born in Decorah, Iowa.
Decorah, Iowa. And did you have siblings?
I have our family. Growing up, my family was kind of like the Brady Bunch. My dad was previously married, had my older brother and older sister. Well, technically half brother, half sister. I don't like to refer to them as that, and that's Jack and Jody. And my mom had a daughter, Lisa, and she lives in Canada now. And then my mom and my dad had me and my younger brother together.
Wow.
And then so we had my older brother, Jack, lived with his mom in a neighboring town. So we saw him, you know, once in a while. We saw him every Christmas and several other times during the year. And Jody lived with us. And so we had three of my siblings lived with us. My full brother, my two half sisters. One from my dad, one from my mom, grew up in our house. And so my younger brother, my full brother, he died a couple years ago during what happened in 2020.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, my sibling. I'm still close. I'm still close with my all my siblings. My sister that lives in Canada, Jennifer. She lives in the Alberta province near, I guess the closest town she lives close to is Medicine Hat. And it's somewhere near Calgary, not too far from Calgary, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And she will be down in Iowa in July to one of her friends from high school's daughter is getting married. So she'll be back for that wedding. And I should probably go to that wedding too, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get off on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, she wants to know.
Best and worst things he had to eat as a kid. Liver.
I agree. Me too.
Liver and any casserole. I still don't like casseroles to this day, like tater tot casserole.
Richard
Despise
has casseroles. He wants meat and potatoes.
despise tater tot and tuna casserole. And my mom and dad loved it, and but they made liver once in a while. Then once they realized that I would never eat it and I would just rather go to bed without supper, they stopped making it for the kids. So it only took once. But every once in a while, I'll eat something that has liver in it, and I'll be like, "This has liver in it. It's terrible." So
I gotta say hi to Heather and Robin. Welcome in, welcome in.
Hi, Heather. Hi, Robin.
Yeah. And then, what was your best and worst gifts growing up?
My favorite gift as a kid, probably the most memorable one was the original Nintendo. Okay, I got that when I was like 12, and my dad despised it from then on because maybe 13. I can't remember when we first got it. And because in the winter we got it at right around Christmas time. At Christmas time, we got it for Christmas. And what ended up happening was all Christmas break, we were in there playing that game, playing the Nintendo. And then we became, kind of hooked on it. And then my dad was like, used to us going outside and playing on Christmas. You had, like 2 weeks off or whatever. You were off from maybe like the 21st or 22nd of December through the New Year's Day. And we weren't going outside. We were stuck inside. And then we loved it. My dad and mom hated it. And then in the summertime, we were outside playing. If I would have tried to just stay inside and play Nintendo, my dad would have been like, "Get your butt outside before I kick it." He would have been. So we just said, "Let's go outside. We'll play tonight." That was kind of the deal, Plus, we played baseball. Grew up playing Little League baseball. I played baseball in high school. I played basketball in high school. I played football. Wasn't very good in football, but that wasn't my sport. But baseball, I was a pretty good baseball player and pretty good in basketball growing up.
Did you have a boy garage band?
No boy garage band. I'm not very musical at all. Not all that. You refer to the karaoke that I sang. You can refer to that. Not very music. I love music. Don't get me wrong. I like a lot of old country, and a lot of old rock and roll, and stuff that was before even my time. Like early '70s stuff and early '70s country and stuff. I like a lot of that stuff. So I actually like stuff that's older than even my generation. But no, seriously though, I'm not a creative type person as far as like pick up a musical instrument. That to me is like people that can like play an instrument, and that takes some work. And then there's some people that can just pick it up and just do it, and that's very impressive to me. Yeah. I wish I could, but I can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I never had a mullet, Jennifer. I've never had a bad haircut. Never had a perm. When I was a kid in like third grade, and I always bring it up to my old buddies at school that a couple of them got perms. And they were guys. You got a perm. You're a dude. You don't get a perm. That is not allowed. But they did. Two of them. Two of my best friends from grade school. I still talk to them today. They both got perms. I think in about maybe like fourth grade, third grade. So mid 80s. They don't have hair now though.
Heather wants to know if you wore MC Hammer pants.
No, but I did wear not MC. Yeah, were they? There was with a parachute. I did have a pair of those. Yeah, I did have a pair of the MC Hammer parachute pants. Yes, I did. I did have that. I had the only thing I did I did it when I was in high school. That I got my ear pierced. Okay, and I came home. My dad saw it with it in my ear, and he said, "You trying to be a girl?" Something like that. I can't remember exactly how he put it. It might not have been like that nice either. I was like, oh, I'll just take it out. No, I'm done with it. Kind of deal. But so I did pierce my ear, and I never really had a bad haircut. I did get I don't know if you remember this in the 80s, but people were cutting stuff into the side of their heads.
Mhm.
I did have a couple little stripes right here one time. I did do that. But other than that, just not stripes, but they just cut like a little bit of the hair out, like right here on both sides. I did that one time, but no super. What places have you lived in? I have lived in, okay, I grew up in Iowa, and then basically I grew up in a little town called Ridgeway, Iowa, which is very close to Decorah, Iowa. I went to high school in Cresco, Iowa, which was a rival high school of Decorah. That's where I grew up. And then I went to college for a year and a half in Iowa City at the University of Iowa, and I didn't really take it very seriously. And then after that, after I didn't take it seriously, wasted money, I ended up going into the Army. So I went into the Army, and I went to Fort Sill first for boot camp, then Fort Bliss, El Paso, Texas. And then I got stationed in, my first duty station was Korea. And then I came back to Fort Bliss because I was in air defense, and that's the home of air defense is Fort Bliss. And then I went into a unit that was deploying to Saudi Arabia. So I went to Saudi Arabia for about 5 months. And then after that, I came back to El Paso, Fort Bliss, and did the rest of my time and then got out. And so I was in for 3 years. I was never homecoming king or prom king. I was never that. Nope.
Was there ever an instrument you wished you could have played, though?
Guitar.
Guitar.
I would say a guitar. I always like guitarists. Thank you, P&J. Yeah, I know how to use a pew pew a little bit. I don't use them that. I can use them out here whenever I want. I should use them more often. I really don't. But how did I meet Jan? First impression. Well, I met Jan at a watering hole, and you guys know what that means. Texas Bar and Grill.
Richard and I met at church.
Austin, Texas.
It's a nice little place.
It's a nice little place. I used to go there after work and have a pitcher of beer, and I'd see her, and that's how we kind of met. Started talking.
Awesome. That's awesome.
And you know what? We never ever go into those kind of places anymore. Ever. Never. Can't remember.
Well, after kayaking, that little beer.
Oh yeah, about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
After kayaking, we stopped there's a little, it's called the Bar in the Woods, and we stopped and we had a beer there. That was the last time, maybe 2 years ago. So
yeah.
if I want to have an adult beverage, I can do it here, and it's cheaper. So
yeah, it is. You don't have to worry about all the headache.
No, that's right.
Of those that are like overly intoxicated, of
Exactly.
driving, of somebody.
Nobody trying to start some fight or something. Nothing.
What was your first impression?
What was my first impression of you?
You told me I was a very blunt broad.
Very blunt broad.
Was she
Yeah.
really?
Oh yeah, she'll tell you what she thinks.
I laid
Yeah.
it on the line.
Yeah, she laid it on the line.
Told you how it's going to be.
She told me how.
I know she's like that. I know.
Yeah,
I
she
know.
ain't changed. She ain't changed. She ain't changed. She's the same. She's the same.
I can hear you, Linda.
She's the same as 20 years ago. And it's been 20 years.
21.
21, technically, yeah. 21 years.
Oh, no,
She
that-
earned that
Oh,
extra
yeah,
year.
September. Yeah.
All right, I'll shut up.
She needs to be quiet over there.
That's funny.
I'm so sorry.
It was hot up on there. What's that mean?
In the watering hole where you met Jan, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Eddie says, I met my husband at my church because he lost a bet in a basketball game with a friend. Well, that's good. You met him at church.
So he had to go to church because he lost the bet.
And did that help him get saved, Penny? Did he not want to go to church? And was he told basically, hey, if you lose this game, you got to go to church? And he lost, and he maybe he didn't want to. Is that what happened? And then did he get saved because he went to church?
Yeah.
Milk and Honey said she met her husband in the hood.
Yeah. Gail said on a dating site. And I have to say, to be honest, I met Richard on a dating site, but our first date was at church. So I physically met him in person at church.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
My brother met his wife on a dating site as well.
Yeah. I liked it because I could really, being a counselor and psychologically evaluating a lot of people, I could like cut through the chase on a lot of those, and then be really picky.
Yeah.
I was really picky. I wasn't gonna take anybody's crap anymore. So I
That's
made
right.
sure-
It's good
yeah,
for you.
Yeah. Took too much and no more. Kevin
Jan brought out your peace, love, joy, Audie. Oh, Jan has done a lot. Like, as far as she has tamed me, really. If you knew me from 20 years ago when I met her at the watering hole, yeah, I was kind of a wild person. I was a wild guy in the Army too, and before, and that's kind of why I didn't graduate college, though. But you know what? All that led to this. So there's always what ifs, but the what ifs, you wouldn't have your life you have now. And people can't look at like what ifs. If you look at what ifs, you're going to be like, you got to live in the here and now, and those things are what make you what you are today. And Jan has done a lot for me as far as making me understand that I have to be an adult and a grown-up and stop being, I mean, it happened, after we got married. I mean, shortly after we got married, but like, that I needed to be more responsible. And yeah, that's what we did. And she's taught me that. I mean, she didn't teach me that. I knew it, but she made me. She made me, and it made me a better person. And that's just reality. That's reality.
Thanks for fixing Kevin, Jan. You did an excellent
Good.
job. LOL.
She did.
That's awesome.
And I'm sure I had kind of, I had some effect on her in a lot of ways too. And we balance each other. So,
Yeah.
and I know sometimes that, we're giving each other grief when we're doing a live or something together. That's really the shtick. That's just We love each other, and we don't like when I'm like giving her heck, and she's giving it back to me. That's we are kind of like that, but I know on the show it's kind of like a little over the top.
Yeah.
We are kind of like that, but
Yeah.
it's good.
That's so sweet.
It's in jest. It's
That's
really
so
in
sweet.
jest.
I never ever, ever give Richard heck. He only gives it to me.
Does he? He gives a heck.
No,
good.
I was like, yeah, like, right.
I give her a lot more than she gives me, but I like to mess with her on her lives and stuff like that. And I like to say that I bring the funny. If you're gonna have me on, I'm gonna entertain, and I'm gonna be.
You can entertain.
I might, I might get a little funny. I might poke a little fun on you, and it's all in good fun. So and she knows that too. So.
Yeah. Yes. Wonderful to be married to your soulmate.
Oh,
Yes, it is. It is. I feel the same way with mine.
Did I ever buy a house and not tell Jan? No. No.
I know where that's coming from.
No, I never did that.
Jennifer.
Jan buys things and doesn't tell me until they show up at the house from Amazon. I'm
That's
like,
different.
what is this? Oh, I forgot to tell you. I bought that. And usually it's something necessary or something she thinks is necessary anyways. And I'll be like, all right, I get it. I see why you did it. I do think excuse me. I do think I'm funny. Do I scare easy? No, not really. I don't really scare easy. Try not to be. It says in the Bible a bunch, do not fear. So try. I mean, obviously, you do get scared of things, but no, I don't. Honestly, I don't really scare easy. Did you ever? Okay, I already read that one. Did you ever buy a house? I don't know the buying the house and not telling your.
Okay, it comes from I bought property and built a house and never told Richard until it was almost ready to live in so he could retire.
Oh, I bet he was pretty shocked.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was basing it off the Bible there, Kevin. A virtuous woman.
That
what
is.
she do in the morning? She goes out and she buys a plot of land.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
So that's
Somebody asked me, Milk and Honey asked me what skills would I like to learn. I would like to learn. Well, we have a couple plumbing issues, not plumbing like real bad ones. I got a leak in the well house. We're calling a plumber. I don't want to mess with the well house stuff. Okay. And then we have a leaky outdoor faucet hose where the hose hooks up. Right. And we're just going to have them fix both of them. I didn't want to mess with the well house thing. That kind of makes me kind of nervous messing in the well house. I don't not want to mess anything up in there. And so plumbing would be, I'll fix the plumbing in the toilet, at the toilet, or under the sink, or a leaky faucet. I'll fix that. But when it comes to the well house, I'm kind of nervous about that. So I didn't want to mess with anything and break anything. And so, yeah, we got an old. There's a guy we call that Jan found his number by one of the stores in town. Had his number on a sign. She called him up, and he's a retired plumber that just wants to make some money on the side. He's retired, just doing it on the side now. Retired guy, and it's like, okay, yeah, call him, have him do this too. I mean, I could probably fix the other thing. I'm not scared of that one, but I'm scared in the well house. So plumbing and electrical. I don't like plumbing and electrical. So if I have electrical issues, you know who I call? Butler Family Farm. I call Jerry. Jerry's
I
helped
wish
me.
I could call Jerry.
I have.
need you to come out.
I called Jerry at Butler Family Farms. He's helped me with several electrical issues. So he's knows electrician.
Yeah.
He's basically a licensed electrician, or he
Wow.
could be. Maybe pay a guy to fix it and watch what he does next time you're all set. Well, the problem is I work to, I'm gone. I've been working till, I have to be to work at 6 in Springfield. I live almost an hour away. So, and I don't get, so my day starts at 4 in the morning and I get home at 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. So it's kind of hard unless that guy's going to come and fix it on a Saturday, or not a Saturday, a Sunday actually, because I'm working Saturdays now too.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I don't really have. Okay, sending Jerry a plane ticket too. Yeah, Jerry is good. If you got electrical issues, Jennifer, and you have questions, you're having an issue, give him a call. He can walk you through stuff. That's what I had him do one time. Is he walked me through a situation. So if you got a problem, and you need, if you need to get a hold of him, and he can walk you through stuff. Jerry will need pictures, Jennifer. Okay, yeah. Kevin, between the color blue, brown, and black, what would you say would be your favorite color? Probably blue. My eyes are blue. So I'm going to go with blue. But as far as and black, if you wear black in the summertime, it gets too hot. So it can't be black. And brown, yeah, I'm going to go with blue. I've never really thought about for a long time what my favorite color is, but my husband can do. I know your husband can do electrical too, Gail. He's a pretty handy guy. He can do mechanical stuff too.
Yeah.
I will try to film it, but there's very little. Jan, don't try to film him in the well house. Leave him alone. You won't be able to get in there. It's pretty small. Jan, I'm going to try to film him. No, don't. Let him do his thing.
Yeah, Ariella needs you to go to Australia too.
I could probably do it, but I am really kind of nervous about messing in a well house. What is something Jan doesn't know about you or something you did? Note, she didn't ask me to ask that. What is something Jan doesn't know about you? Oh, God. I know. She said that. She said that she had a little caveat. Oh, Gail. Okay, before I get back to you, Jennifer, what is your favorite band? I'd probably go with the Rolling Stones. I was a big Rolling Stones fan for a long time. I don't know if they still are, but yeah. What's your favorite Okay, hold on. What is something Jan doesn't know? Okay, I gotta really think about this. I don't know if she knows. I think I've probably told her though. I got into a little trouble in the Army a couple times. Nothing serious, but I did have to do extra duty type things. I think I might have told her. I don't know. Okay, so it's not that. I don't know. I know their stuff, maybe stuff that I can't even say on here. So we'll have to get back to that another time. Another
After
time.
all, we're living in another time.
It was a perfect plug for the channel as well. Okay, what was that other question? What's the favorite meal that Jan cooks for? She makes a very good chicken Alfredo, homemade with homemade sauce. Man, it's good. She makes it wonderful. That's right up there. She made a great beef stroganoff tonight.
That's
So I do
awesome.
like that too. If you could add things to the homestead, what would they be? Probably more cows.
Sorry, you guys, my internet is
Getting a little choppy. If you could add things to the homestead, what would they be? Probably
Okay, we're back.
You're back, yeah. Are you getting storms right now, Linda?
Yeah, we're having storms. Let me go ahead and do this giveaway real quick in case it cuts out.
Okay.
So I can make sure. So I'm going to go ahead and do this giveaway for a $25 gift card. So I want you to do hashtag Kevin. And I am going to type that in. And then I'm going to share the screen. Yes, Jan, you can enter. So make sure everybody types in hashtag Kevin. And let me share this screen here.
What are things you wanted to do and didn't? Well, I wanted to go to Europe at some point in my life, and I haven't really been in Europe.
Okay, and start collecting comments. We have 2 so far. Hashtag Kevin. Make sure $25 gift card. Gonna be doing it every week, you guys. You get a chance for a $25 gift card to Amazon.
I'm not getting in there, Jan. This is for everybody else.
You can enter too, Kevin.
No, I'm not entering anymore your giveaways because I always win them.
Oh, yeah, you do.
I've won 3 of yours.
That's funny. Well, Jan can enter. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not entering.
We're at 8. There should be some more.
Come on, people.
Come on, hashtag Kevin. Everybody can use $25 today. Come on. Yeah, Jennifer, I'll figure out how to send it to you. We'll figure it out one way or the other. So you can go ahead. If I have to send it to your little address, or figure out how to send a one, I will. Go ahead.
Yep, the storm's getting there. Screwed up your internet again.
Yeah, it is.
Nope, now you're back.
I have a ewe that's going to probably lamb tonight during these storms. And just
You guys have gotten a lot of rain too, haven't you? Just like us.
We get all your storms.
Yeah.
And just constant. Hashtag Kevin. Okay, we have 8 entries.
You, Milk and Honey Heritage. I've never met you or Jennifer. Just on here.
Yeah. Has everyone entered now? Hashtag Kevin for the $25 gift card. I'll give you 10 more seconds. Then I'm going to go ahead and draw. Jamie, hashtag Kevin. From our generation, it was a pound sign. So nobody knows what pound sign is today.
She got it now.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And make sure whoever wins gets me their email. Send me your email address or your address. Congratulations, Jamie. Yes. How about that?
All right.
That is awesome. Wow. That is awesome. Okay, now I got to figure out how to get rid of this thing. Stop.
Don't ask me. I can't help you. Oh,
There
you
we
did great.
go. Okay. Yeah, I'm just learning that, so trying to be a little more tech savvy. Get back to the questioning Kevin. Let's see. What were some of the other questions we missed? Yeah.
Well, I can't remember now, but I think I got what was my favorite band. I said the Rolling Stones. I don't know if they really are, but they used to be.
Oh,
Uh,
Jennifer has one for you.
I kind of got more into old country now, so I might have to say like Waylon Jennings or something. When will you be surprising your wife with a vacation to visit Canada? Well, funny that you say that. I really want to go on a Boundary Waters canoe area wilderness trip up basically to the border of Minnesota and Canada. And basically it's all wilderness there, and you get a canoe, you take a canoe and you pack your stuff in, and you're in there for like a week, and you're just bring a tent, bring some food, you catch fish, cook fish, you portage from like body of water to body of water, or you can just camp for a week and just fish the same body of water and just camp there. I really want to do it. She doesn't want to do it because there's bears there, but I got a good friend of mine. They're black bears. They're not going to come at you, but they have, you got to do certain things to deal with the bears. Like,
Are black bears the one that eat you, and grizzly bears are the ones that just kill you for pleasure?
black bears are mostly scared of humans. We have black bears in Missouri,
I know.
but I think, people do it. There's a lot of people that go up there. I had a good friend of mine that did it. The only thing you got to worry about is the black flies and the skeeters are bad in the early summer. So I'd want to go. I would want to do it in the fall, but Jan don't want to do it. So I don't know if I'll ever get to do it. But that's kind of one thing that I would like to do. If somebody had asked the question, what's something that you'd like to do but you haven't? That's kind of something that I want to do. Is like go live be like Jan and I used to do primitive camping and stuff like that, but this would be even more primitive. Like,
Yeah.
really, and for like a week. We've never done it for like a week. We've done it for like, a couple days where we primitive camped. So we don't do that anymore. We liked being in the yurt. I really did. I did like being in the yurt.
I like being in the yurt.
Well, I want to know if I could really, if I could really do it. I don't know if I could really do that anymore, but when I was younger, yeah, I could. But a few years ago when we had the meet up in Stockton, I had I borrowed a friend of ours' cot. I couldn't sleep on it at all. Didn't get a wink of sleep all night.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I got to have an air mattress. I'm getting soft as I'm getting older. I could not fall asleep. And, I slept on cots when I was in the Army, and I had no problem with it. But, like, I guess, you get older and
older aches and pains. And
like, you just got to be, I don't know if I could do that again, but I'd like to try it. But I don't know. Maybe I'd have to somehow bring an air mattress.
Jennifer says she has a pool at the new house and a little stream in the backyard you can fish in.
Oh, okay. And there are some of the best fish in the world here. Oh, yeah. I love to fish. Y'all know that about me. Know that about me. Cots are even hard. Yes. I just couldn't fall asleep. And when I was younger, I could fall asleep like at the drop of a hat. I could, in the Army, in the military, they teach you how to sleep like in the weirdest positions. You just catch like 2 minutes here or there, and 2 minutes there. And, but man, I just can't do it anymore. The cots were horrible. Yes, Jan, they were horrible.
Yeah. I can't do that either. It's just impossible.
We have a nice air mattress. We have a nice air mattress too, but and we did take it camping with us once, but it's
Jennifer's trying really hard to get you guys up there.
Okay, so if you go to Canada from the United States, do you got to use a passport? How does that work?
I don't think you have to. I think you have to have a passport. Now I don't know if you have the real ID, if that counts, but I don't know.
The real ID thing?
Yeah.
I don't know about that either. Just need a pass. I figured you needed a passport.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my passport's expired, but I wouldn't mind getting another one. Anyways, what animals would you want that you don't have? Well, let's see. Probably some sheep again. We have the sheep on our property, but they're technically not ours anymore because we traded them for a cow and a calf, and then our cow is going to calf again in November. So, giraffe. Oh yeah, you remember the giraffe thing. But no, the sheep. They're still on the property, so I get to see them all the time, and I like those sheep. They hang out with the cows. They do whatever the cows are doing. They just hang out and run with them. Now, I've heard that the storms could are you going to have problems with your sheep?
All this water.
Yeah.
I had to go cut a hole in the back side of the barn yesterday to make them a new door so that they wouldn't have to go over a puddle of water. They just stayed in the barn for 2 days without coming out because they didn't want to cross that water. And so it was stinking hot and they weren't coming out to eat. So we had to go cut that hole in the back and make another doorway for them to go out onto grass so they go out.
Wow.
Yeah. They don't like the mud and the water when it's the water. It's just, it's just pooling in front of it because we've had so much, and it's just been a mess. That's the hard part about sheep. And then of course, you have to make sure that they're not constantly in the water because of their hooves.
Yeah.
And they'll get foot rot and hoof rot, and they get it. We've had one that lost her life after a long period of time of trying to deal with that, and had, we just spent tons of time with her trying to fix that, and it's hard. But I love sheep. What I like about them is that they're not goats. Goats drive me nuts, and they're fun. The babies are fun. The rest of the time you're just feeding them, and they love you. They want to.
Yeah, the goat thing. Like I was like Leary, I didn't really want to have to deal with them escaping out of everything and jumping all over and maybe climbing up on our car, that kind of stuff. So I didn't want them, but yeah. So we got talking about Bigfoot over here in the chat over in Oregon. Yeah, that is Bigfoot area. Supposedly there's Bigfoot here too. In Missouri. So Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti, whatever you call him.
We have sheep squatch.
Sheep squatch?
That's what they call it here in Kentucky.
Really?
Really?
Oh. Wow, never heard that.
I know, you got to look it up.
Now in Texas we used to have a thing called the chupacabra.
Yeah.
They talked about the chupacabra.
Yeah.
And it looks like the chupacabra. They showed a picture of one time, and it looked like a dog with mange.
Yeah.
Like it looked like a coyote with mange.
Yeah.
So this is what a chupacabra is, and I was like, that looks like a coyote with mange. Well, I'm glad you got 2 good goats, Heather, because that's what I was just worried about, is like them getting out and jumping on the car and whatever, but Jerry's goat cracks me up when he brings it along with it in the diaper. That's just wild to me.
And
wow.
Me too. Because my goats are like, my little guy's out in his pen by himself. I don't care.
Oh, Karen says, when was the last? Oh, I went fishing this weekend at my pond. I sent Linda. I sent Linda some pictures of some fish that I've been catching lately, but some of them were this weekend. And my favorite kind of fish to catch is I'm mostly a bass fisherman. And what kind of fish would be a bucket list fish to catch. Maybe like a big shark in salt water. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not a maybe not a shark. Maybe like a old man in the sea, blue marlin. See if you could reel one of those things in. That would be
Yeah,
that would be fun.
cool. What are your plans when you retire?
Man, I don't make plans for that. Man, I don't know. I really don't. Jennifer or Whistle Stop says he's not going to retire for at least another. No way, Ed. No way. Not another 40 years. Are you kidding me? We're talking. I honestly just don't think that, like, construction work, like, people need to be the retirement age and the Social Security age. To me, I know this is getting off on a tangent, but 65, it should be more like 55. We don't need to work like that. It just seems to me that we work too hard and too long. And then I see all these guys that work till they're 60 or 65, they retire, they get cancer, and they're dead at 67. And they've worked their whole lives, and they retired, they had this pension, whatever. We had a guy a couple years ago that retired, not from our company, but from one of the other union shops, died within 2 years. You know, he just got just got a pension. You know, he got his pension and good retirement. And I just think we work too long. I know part of our health is and people dying young like that is not being healthy. And yeah, I smoke. I need to stop. I know. But eating wise, I think we all need to eat better and healthier. And I think that's a big thing on us now. And I think a lot of the people in our community figured that out. And we're all trying to do better. And that's why we're doing what we do. So,
Yeah.
But yes, no, Ed, I'm not working 40 more years. No way. Kevin, we have a place here in Oregon that do camp very primitive. Then Heather and I could join you. Hint, hint. Okay, Petty. Gosh. No, I'm just reading what Linda put up on the board.
Oh.
So, yeah, I missed it earlier, but happens all the time at my work, at my husband's work, Boilermakers. Sad. It makes you want to, yeah, it's like we work all our lives, or a lot of people do. And that's why, like, when Jan could retire, when we moved here, Jan got a job at Lowe's, and I know we're running up against time, but Jan got a job at Lowe's, and she ended up hurting her foot while she was doing her orientation. And I just said, you know what, Jan, you don't have to work. If we can make it on just me working, and and then she was able to retire, and she's got a little pension, and it was like, you know what, you don't need to work anymore. And I didn't want her to work.
Yeah.
Like she'd worked her whole life. And so, and I know she's glad I was, and you know what? She's just as busy now or busier.
Busier. Yeah, I know.
Actually, and I know how hard you work too, Linda.
Yeah,
like you guys are super busy.
Yeah. Way busier than when I was working. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. I am so thankful you came on tonight, and I really truly appreciate it. And I'm so grateful everybody came in to see Kevin tonight, and I
enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree, Ed.
I was really surprised when you reached out to me to do it. I was like, really, Linda wants me to come on, and like,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I was like, and I got home, and Jan goes, yeah, I'd already talked to her about it, but I told her, you're gonna have to ask him. So but I was like kind of excited to do this. So,
well, I'm glad you did. It made me happy, and it was fun. And thank you, Jan.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're welcome anytime.
Okay.
You are welcome anytime.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And I'm hoping that come October, you guys are able to
Yes.
Well,
take a trip.
that might be that's actually a good possibility. We'll talk more about that soon.
You need some rest and
Yeah.
relaxation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much. I'm going to end this now, and I'll go ahead and close you out with a song if I have one. Or let's see. I don't know what this one is. Should I just hit it and see what it is? This song?
Yeah, just do it.
Okay.
Hit it.
Oh, this is. It's untitled, so I
We
didn't
grew
know.
up when fishing in a hole and swimming in a lake was what you did. Riding
You're welcome,
bikes and
Penny.
roller skates, dances at the Grange, laying in the shade. We grew up with Vietnam Now, hippie love, and the Brady Bunch when hip huggers were cool. And we
Taz
had a
next week.
curfew.
Did you see that?
We lived in another time.
Yep.
A time of freedom.
Yeah, get him on there.
The time of our life. Another time.
Oh, I didn't know he was. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll be tuning in for that. For sure.
Integrity was important.
You're
And
welcome,
your name was all
Ariella.
you had when you stood proud and waved the flag.
Good night to you,
Men were men,
PJ.
boys were boys. We grew up in another time.
Y'all know this is like this is perfect timing because it's like my bedtime.
Yeah.
This is ended.
Playing in dirt and t-shirts were your favorite when everyone had a set of Sunday clothes and the fair we looked
Yeah, I had a
forward
great
to
time, Linda.
all year long.
Thanks for coming
Grew
on.
up in another
Really
time.
appreciate it.
You are very
Another
welcome. Do it anytime.
time. We grew up in another
Jennifer asking me that question about
when integrity was
what is something Jan doesn't know about you. Like, oh golly, you really got to do this.
Men were men and
Oh, man.
boys were boys. We grew up in another time.
Yeah, I'm ending it here. So good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.